Garden update, May 18th, 2018. Walk through the garden. It's coming along well. The yarrows start blooming. The annuals have not quite come into their fullness yet. This tomato plant that I put up here, Christmas cherry, is going to come along nice. It's got a lot of tomatoes on it. And this is the flower hill, mix of annuals and perennials, and the tomato plants I had left over. Still have a few remnants of weeds in there coming up through the Russian sage. Daylilies, the Stellodora, have started blooming, but that's the only ones. The daisies, black-eyed Susans, I'm sorry, are coming up really well back there. And there are a couple of daisy plants blooming. Shasta daisy right here, coming up amongst the King Alfred daffodils. This tomato plant here is a variety called Jelly Bean. The potatoes are going crazy, much better. Got a white bloom on that, so I'm going to assume that that's one of the white potatoes that are in there. The rest made strawberry preserves yesterday. We had about 10 cups of strawberries. There's probably that much more here now. Crookneck squash, planted on 413, is doing well. This variety of lettuce is called Red Fire. It's the very slowest to bolt I've found. These are the onion bulbs I planted, and these are the onion plants. This variety of lettuce right here is called Salad Bowl, recommended by my neighbor, and it has really taken off. It looks like it's starting to bolt though. This was the bed that I thought had black rot. It's not, it wasn't black rot. It has black spot on it, and this variety is just prone to do that. The strawberries had leapfrogged over it. You can see some there and some here, and they had gone into this bed, so I just let them go last fall. I just planted the last planting of carrots and radishes and lettuce. Again, the lettuce right here is Red Fire. This is the pine tree mix we have here. A couple of tomato plants I need to get cages around. That'll be next week. Corn's looking good. Tomatoes in the cages are looking well too. Need to thin these carrots out. And these are the onions left over from last fall. They were in the refrigerator all winter, and you can see that they've really made some big bulbs, and they're blooming. I like the blooms in the garden, and so I'm going to let them bloom to their heart's content. May not make great onions. The spinach has already started to bolt. This is May 18th here in Georgia, and if you don't get it in January or February, it's going to go bolting right away. You may recall from an earlier video, if you watched, I'll plant more spinach in October, and we'll have spinach all winter. Sweet corn, burpees, bicolor. My sunken bathtub, yarrow around my little creature there, and I love this dragonfly my daughter gave me. These are gladiolus that are coming up. The irises here did not bloom. I rescued these from a really shaded part of the yard last year, and they are really thriving down here in the sun. This is a pomegranate plant. I don't recall what the name of this plant is. It bloomed. I found this one back in the corner back there behind the yarrow, so I pulled it out. It's doing okay. I really almost daily now have to go through the garden and pull these in. I like to do it in the afternoon when they're a little wilted. That way you don't break off the stems. But if I don't continue to pull these in, they will droop over and break. This Roma is a determinate plant. That means they're going to get up to about the top of these cages and stop. These black plum are indeterminate, and they will keep growing right out of this basket. In this bed, the Diva cucumbers that Billy Ray started for me in the greenhouse, these I planted from seed on 413, and they're doing well. The pepper plants have blooms on them. I contain them in these baskets because they'll get really tall and big before the year's over. This is a variety, it was a mixed variety of just bell peppers, but there's supposed to be several different colors in here, and there's no way of telling what color I'll have yet. The clematis is blooming beautifully on the side here of the gazebo. These are black-eyed Susan vines that are going to overwhelm this space. I have a blueberry plant up here, and this is a climbing rose that I got from my pasture's mother 20 years ago. She has long passed, but I keep trimming this back and it keeps blooming year after year. Nice remembrance of that loved one. Over on this side, the blueberries are thriving. I thought they were going to get killed by frost, but they didn't. And we're going to have some nice raspberries down here too. This is soon going to be shaded over by this big pecan tree. So I'm going to be looking for a new home for these raspberries next year. We've had several days of rain in a row, and it's going to rain again today and tomorrow. So I just wanted to update quickly. Hope your garden is growing well. I know I have a lot of weeds in the past. That doesn't really bother me. I'll just get those as I can.